of this particular dream. As you see here, this is my viewpoint from the roof that I landed on. And in front of me stood the Linden Plaza apartment building. Why do I believe that these buildings that were in front of me were the Linden Plaza apartment building? Is because that's what I immediately picked up, and this is what I immediately detected what was in front of me, which was the Linden Plaza apartment buildings. And like I said, I felt a great deal of fear and dread around these buildings. The next letter in this piece is the letter N. This is section 8, letter N. There's one dream in this piece that begins with the letter N. There's one dream about New York City. The first number in this piece is the number 1. This piece is called section 8, One New York City Dream, or S81 NYCD. In the month of November 9, 2009, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. At 5:33 p.m., I decided to take a nap because I felt sleepy and tired. So I entered into my bed, and then I rest my hands behind my head. And then within a few seconds, I'd fallen asleep. Then suddenly my eyes popped open for some unknown reasons. And now I was awakened from my sleep. Then I attempted to get up from my bed, but I quickly realized I could not move. The only part of my body I could move were my eyes. My room was still semi-dark, just the way it was when I lay down for a nap. Then my eyes began to detect several things moving around inside my room. These things that moved inside my room began to form into whiffs of smoke, and then the whiffs of smoke became spiritual beings. These spiritual beings were now flying over my head and over my feet. I could not believe what was happening around me. The spirits I seen did not frighten me. I just lay there upon my bed, taking in everything that was going on inside my room. I think I was not really asleep or really awake. I believe I have been stuck somewhere in time. These spirits in my room showed no sign to me that they wanted to hurt me. I sensed these spirit beings were only trying to get my attention. Then I spotted a scroll materialize over my feet. Then the scroll was rolled out from left to right. The scroll was now fully rolled out. Then I seen what was in the center of the scroll. Then I quickly figured out what I was looking at. I was actually looking at the silhouette of New York City. The silhouette of New York City was bathed in a bluish light. Now I became afraid, and then I said out loud, "Oh my God, look what happened to New York City. That's New York City. Oh my God, look at New York City. Look what happened to New York City." Then after I gazed upon the bluish silhouette of New York City, I then called upon my guardian angels to come and release me from my paralyzed state. Within seconds, I could move my hands and legs now. Then I slowly risen myself up into a sitting position. Then I sat up in my bed and I looked across my room. Then I spotted my clock. I believe my clock read 7:49 p.m. I continued to sit upon my bed for a minute or two so that I could collect my thoughts and to also calm myself down. After I calmed down, I then climbed out of my bed so that I could record this bizarre dream inside my dream book. And here we go again, me showing what I dreamt about in a drawing form. And in this dream, as I stated, I seen a scroll rolled out in front of me, and in the center of the scroll I see the silhouette of New York. and that New York was bathed in a bluish light. You know, like a bluish light one would see when one turns on a stove and the bluish gassy flames appear. Well, this is what New York City looked like to me. It had a glow, a blue glow over it. It was darkness behind New York City, dark clouds, and also the water was dark. I believe I may have been looking at Battery Park, a profile of Battery Park, or the South Seaport. The next letter in this piece is the letter P. This is section 8, letter P. There are two dreams in this piece that begins with the letter P. There are two dreams about planets. The first number in this piece is the number 1. This piece is called section 8, One Planet Dream, or S8, 1PLTD. In the month of November 24th, 2009, recorded this dream inside my dream book. I dreamt that I heard a radio broadcast host from the radio show called Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie that airs on 77 WABC radio AM station. Then I heard the host, George Norrie, say,
Just a moment. George Norrie, the host of Coast to Coast AM, is no longer on WABC radio. Coast to Coast AM is located now on WOR radio station, WOR radio AM station.
These words on the air. Well, the planets are coming into our solar system. There's nothing we can do about it. I wish we were told about this so we can at least have a year's warning. Then he continued to say on the air, this thing is coming in. Then the next thing I took notice of inside this dream was that George Norrie was getting his information about planets coming into our solar system from an article. The reason why I felt he was reading from an article is because he kept mentioning page 49. Then I heard myself say inside this dream, page 49, from what paper is he reading from? Then I suspected that he might have been reading from the New York Times. Then the very last thing I heard this radio talk show host say on the air were these words. It's coming in our solar system. Thine will be done. The next and last number in this piece is the number 2. This piece is called section 8, 2 Planet Dreams, or S82 PLTD. In the month of November 30th, 2009, I recorded this dream inside my dream book. Today I dreamt that I was in my room and I was doing paperwork. Then I felt compelled to walk out of my room and then to go outside and stand on top of the stoop of my home. So I stopped working and then I exited out of my room and I opened my front door and I stepped out onto the top stoop. It was a nice day out. Then I lifted up my eyes into the heavens and then I seen the planet Saturn stationed on the right side of the sky. And then I gazed left and I spotted a shining light, which was not too far away from Saturn. I could not tell if this very bright object was a star. Then I heard a male voice say these words behind me. The bright planet next to Saturn is the planet Venus. Then I became aware of my clothing. I noticed that I wore spring or summer wear. Then the voice behind me said these two last words in conjunction. And I made a drawing of this dream. As you see here, this is what I seen when I stepped on the top of my stoop. These are homes across the street from my house. And here I've seen the planet